What is up, Variant Nation? It's been a bit. I think we skipped last week. We skipped last week's episode of Variant Live because my wife got sick, so I had to stay home on Monday and Tuesday Monday and Tuesday to take care of her and obviously my 1-year-old daughter because she's one can't take care of herself. So yeah, that's why we didn't have Variant Live next week because I was playing husband and dad to a house of sick, well, not sick women. Only my wife was sick, thankfully, but yeah, she's better now and all that's good. But I just want to let you guys know, be like, where was live last week? That's why I was, priorities, taking care of the family and all that good stuff. But I am here to talk some comic books, some things related to comic books and all that fun stuff. Before we get into that, though, I do want to mention, as I do every single Variant Live, I know you guys who watch every single week or time we do Variant Live, you already know I'm like a broken record by now. But Verve, we've partnered with the lovely people at Verve. We partnered with them. We've been a partner with them for like months now, but they're one of those companies that even though we're partnered with them, I had them and loved them even beforehand because if you guys don't know, they're actually owned by Crunchyroll. And I had Crunchyroll before Verve. Verve is basically like Crunchyroll on crack because instead of just getting anime, like which Crunchyroll is famous for, to stream all the anime we love, you also get like a lot of like 90s cartoons and TV shows and movies. Like they just acquired Nick Splats. We got a bunch of Nickelodeon shows on there. Hey Arnold, Hey Dude. What else is on there? I think Rugrats is on there. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Salute Your Shore. It's all the Angry Beavers, all that stuff. We loved as children, now love as adults still because we're like nostalgia. Nostalgia is a cool thing. But they have all that stuff on there. They have Freakazoid, which is great. Anyway, lots of fun stuff on there. If you want a free 30-day ad-free trial, click the link in the description below, and you could watch any of that stuff for 30 days for free, no ads. They also have a ton of anime on there. My Hero Academia seasons 1, 2, and 3, dubbed or subbed, however you prefer. I know purists like it subbed, but I, however, like it dubbed. I've been very vocal about that. I do think like the subbed is better because I think in Japanese, there's more emotion to it. It's more raw. Like I think the voice acting a lot of times is just gets the point across in Japanese. But to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm lazy. Okay, I'm lazy when it comes to that stuff because when I watch anime and stuff like that, I watch my shows. It's usually at night in bed, and if I don't want to have to read that late at night, or if I look away, then I don't, I miss what they said. So it's one of those things. To each their own. I know most people love anime watch subbed. I'm on the dubbed, to each his own. Plus, that's kind of how I watched anime growing up. I've said it before. Like I watched anime. I got into anime because of Toonami, Dragon Ball Z, just normal Dragon Ball, and Gundam on there, even Sailor Moon and all that stuff. So that's how I got into anime. So that's just how I've watched it. I'm ranting, I'm raving. If you guys want to watch all that stuff though for 30 days ad free, click the link in the description. Good stuff. With that said, with that out of the way, now what? Hey, I just saw someone in George. What's up from Puerto Rico? I'm Puerto Rican. I'm basically like 100% Puerto Rican, actually. If you guys are wondering what ethnicity I was or am, oh no, am I dead? No, what ethnicity I am Puerto Rican. Pretty much 100% Puerto Rican. There's a little bit of like French in there. I think there's like a little bit of like native like Indian in there because all Latins pretty much have an Indian in there too. But like Puerto Rican grandfather, grandmother born in Puerto Rico. Then they moved to New York. My parents born in Queens and in the Bronx. Then yeah, that's that. So Puerto Rico, yeah. Total deviation. I'm like a freaking like fish. I'm like, ooh, shiny thing, and I totally went that way. And I was supposed to get into today's topic. Okay. um Today's topic, first thing we're going to talk about, obviously, as the title of the episode says, is Thor is getting two hammers. How about that? Now, if Thor wasn't powerful enough, as it is with one hammer, he's easily one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. Definitely, easily like top 10, top 5, I would say, strongest superheroes in the Marvel universe is Thor, definitely up there. And in the MCU, like I'm actually probably gonna make a video on this in like a little later. But in the MCU, I would even say that Thor is stronger than the Hulk in the MCU. If you guys seen Infinity War, I think that proves my point right then and there. Uh, Anyway, in the comic books, he is going to be getting a second hammer. How freaking crazy is that? So, basically, what's going on with that? There's not too many details. There's not a bunch of details with that, but they're going into the War of Realms story arc here, and Jason Aaron has been doing the run writing Thor for a while now. He's actually had a quote saying, I'll read it to you guys. He goes, I've been building towards the War of the Realms for the entire duration of my Thor run. So we're talking 6 years and 80 issues and counting. This is a war that covers the entire globe and involves the biggest heroes of the Marvel universe. As you could see in this amazing promo, which I'm going to show you in a bit, this promo piece by my Mighty Thor collaborators, and then he goes to name on his collaborators like Matthew Wilson and Russell Dodderman and so on and so forth. But I'm going to show you this because this is how we know he is getting through two hammers, because they teased it in this War of the Realms teaser art, promo art. Let's see. Let me screen share this with you guys 1 second. I was prepared this week. I know you guys watch Rant Live. I usually like forget to get the pictures beforehand, and I'm like here on Google, like, hold on, guys, hold on. I'm gonna get the pictures for you. I'm gonna show you. Arris will do it for you. But hold on. Let's see. Screen share on this, and boom, there you go, guys. So as you could see, with Thor's left arm, he is holding a brand new golden hammer to match his golden arm. How crazy is that? So again, we don't really know much of anything of how this happens and whatnot. We just know it's happening. We know he's holding two hammers. I mean, for all we know at this point, that isn't necessarily his hammer. That could just be he gets it for someone and gives away to someone in the next issue. We don't know. It could be anything. I mean, one would assume he's getting two hammers for X, Y, or Z reasons, but we don't know. But that's awesome nonetheless. I can you imagine Thor freaking running around with two hammers, like having Mjolnir in one hand and Stormbreaker in the other hand? Oh my god, that would be dope. That would be dope if freaking he has. I mean, I don't think that is Stormbreaker unless it's like a new version of it or whatever. I don't know. But you imagine having Mjolnir and Stormbreaker at the same time. Either way, he's going to be wielding, or supposedly it looks like going to be wielding, two hammers. That's insane. That is all kinds of nuts. So that's that. Again, we don't know too much about that as of now, but that is the news, and that is what Variant Live is for, to give you guys the news. I go around on the internet for all the comic book news, movies, TVs, actual comic books, and like, what tickles my fancy, and then I talk about it here with you guys. Staying in the Marvel world a bit before I get into talking about some of the other Marvel stuff I want to talk about. I do want to still talk about a huge, massive loss we obviously had last week. The passing of Stan the Man Lee. This past Saturday, we put up a tribute episode to him, because the man was a freaking. He's the man. He is the man. Stan Lee is pretty. He was pretty freaking awesome. Stan the Man Lee. That's famous nickname he has. That's always what I call him. He's got several nicknames. I always call him Stan the Man because he was the man. So yeah, we did a tribute video for him this past Saturday. If you guys haven't watched that, it's one of my favorite videos that we've put up in a while. Just because I'm talking about what he meant to me, what he meant to the whole Variant team, what he meant to the comic book community, what he meant to pop culture in general. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize the magnitude this man, like, just the prolific like impact this guy had on pop culture in general. Like, the amount of jobs that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for, obviously Stanley co-created these, he's not solely responsible, but I mean, he's half of the equation, and he was more so than I would argue than a lot of other creators. The guy, I think, approximately co-created and created 210 characters. That is insane. Like I said it in the tribute episode, I think people don't realize, like they say he created the X-Men. Okay, but you just think of that as one, but no, like Angel, Beast, Magneto, Storm, Professor X, like Juggernaut, like each individual member, and then doing the backstory for each individual member. Oh, we created Spider-Man. Yeah. And basically all of its core villains and characters, Aunt May, Uncle Ben, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, Electro, like the Felicia Hardy, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, like it just goes on and on and on. It's pretty crazy for for one person to have created and co-created characters that will literally stand the test of time forever and ever. It's like, just imagine, like I said a little bit a few minutes ago, like the amount of jobs that wouldn't exist, like the MCU, like these Marvel movies, these superhero movies, particularly the Marvel movies, are the biggest movies in the world. They are massive. And that wouldn't be a thing without Stan Lee. Like, not at all. Like, think of all, like, what 90% of the ones that have movies or, are in Avengers movies are because of him. You got Spider-Man, Stan Lee. You have Iron Man, Stan Lee. Hulk, Stan Lee. Hawkeye, Stan Lee, like Doctor Strange, Stan Lee, Black Panther. He's on my shirt right now. He's got a hugely successful movie, and is gonna get a second movie. Stan Lee, like it's freaking crazy. And then even the ones that Marvel technically doesn't have rights to, or didn't have rights to at the beginning, Daredevil on Netflix, Stan Lee, like it's just insane. And then again, you say like Daredevil, it's not just Daredevil though. Kingpin, Stan Lee, Karen Page, Stan Lee, Elektra, Stan Lee, like it's insane. So if he didn't create these characters, these shows and movies wouldn't exist. Meaning the directors wouldn't have this job, the cinematographers wouldn't have this job, the writers for the shows and movies wouldn't have the job, the craft services for the movie sets wouldn't have a job. Like this guy has literally, I probably, I said in the tribute, I probably wouldn't have this job. Like he created half the characters I talk about. Like it's insane. So I am in debt to him, more than most. There's people who are in debt to him even more so than me. Like a lot of these actors wouldn't be. The reason why, like, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and stuff are like household names now, are because of these Marvel movies. Sure, they were acting before, but these movies is what gave them A-list status. So I could rant and rave and talk good things about Stanley all day long and the impact he's had on society and what he's meant to me. I will end real quick before, because we got other news to talk about. But I will say one thing. I met him once. I met him one time, when I was invited to go to this Captain America Civil War premiere. I was in the press area, and celebrities are coming by and stuff like that. And no joke, like the one I knew Stanley was going to be there out of everyone, because this was the Captain America Civil War premiere, so it was pretty much an Avengers movie. So everyone and their mother was there. Don Cheadle was there, Robert Downey Jr. was there, Chris Evans was there, Chris Hemsworth was there, Tom Holland was there, who I met as well, super nice guy. Like pretty much everyone in the MCU was there, because this was Civil War is like an Avengers movie basically. Uh, Anyway, but out of all those, the person I wanted to meet the most was Stan Lee, because again, from a kid, I knew who Stan Lee was. My dad told me who Stan Lee was, and he was very much the face of comic books and stuff like that. I just love, it's Stan Lee. I wanted to meet him more than anyone, because before the movies and stuff like that, comics are the core of this. It's Stan Lee. I wanted to meet him more than anyone. So when he came by, the group that took us out there, their I guess their handler talked to his handler, and he came over, and he's over there in the corner, we're in the little press box, and he's walking over, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen, I'm gonna meet Stanley, I'm gonna get to say hi to him, shake his hand, hopefully get a picture. And comes over. I was in like a group of like six of us. And the first thing he says, he comes over, he goes, Excelsior. And I'm like, yes. And he's kind of talking. He's like, how you guys doing? Are you joining the premiere? Blah, blah. And then he starts taking pictures with everyone there. And like two, three people got a picture before me, but they're kind of rushing him away. I'm like, no, I want a picture with Stan. I want a picture with Stan Lee. And he came over to me, and he's like, how you doing? Doing the whole, like, he's super, super enthusiastic. At the time, he was probably like 91, or whatever. And, I got a picture with him, said like two words to him, talked to him very briefly. But yeah, I got to have my Stan Lee moment, which unfortunately, I and, everyone else is not going to ever be able to have again. But yeah, I just want to touch on that again. I already did an episode on it this past Saturday. explaining, how prolific this man was and how important he was to the comic book industry and pop culture in general. But I just want to touch on it real quick because again, you know, uh, I'm not one to like get like super sad and stuff when it's extremely sad when any celebrity and stuff dies. Obviously, it's horrible. No one gets happy when someone dies. That's not right. But I'm just saying this one hit me a lot harder than most because he in a lot of ways he quite literally shaped my childhood and life and outlook on things. So yeah, that's that's that. All right, that's but again, he will be remembered forever in all of the characters. Let's go up. I feel like I'm kind of talking, getting a little sad, sappy up in here. But no, he will ever forever be remembered in all the countless characters this man's created, and he will always be Stan the Manly. All right. With that said, let's move on to let's stay since we're talking about Stan Lee, let's stay in the Marvel world, the world he pretty much created. So the next thing I want to talk about is X-Men. So Marvel is talking about a lot of stuff for 2019. As I said, the War of the Realms for Thor and all that stuff they're gearing up for before I start talking about Stan Lee. um they're also doing the X-Men. So they have a lot of stuff coming up with the X-Men, and it is too much to actually remember. So I have the article up right here. So pretty much they have big plans for 2019, and uh basically what those plans are is, let's look for this right here. Hold on, guys. They announced several miniseries that will be releasing next year. So we're going to be getting the Amazing Nightcrawler, the Extremists, Prisoner X, Apocalypse, the X Tracks, the Marvelous X-Men, and Next Gen. So we're going to be getting all sorts of cool stuff under the Age of X-Men banner, the ones I just told you about. Let's see. Let's go down here to see. I actually just read this article like literally before I got on here. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Because I'm actually editing a video for you guys this Wednesday's video, History of Red Hood. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, so be on the lookout for that. It's actually a long video. It's like 17 minutes because I really like the Red Hood. So I was very long winded in this episode. You could clearly tell he's one of my favorite characters because I got into more detail than I usually do. So I was just excited to talk about Jason Todd slash Red Hooded. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna be getting the Devastation story arc. I can't talk right now. We're gonna be getting the Devastation story arc in 2019 for the X-Men, and I'm gonna show you guys a cover for it because remember, Arris, I'm talking in third person, is prepared. I am prepared for you guys today. So let's do a screen share right here. Boom, there you go. So Devastation, February 2019. As you could see, you kind of got the classic 90s X-Men in the background, that Jim Lee style X-Men, which I love so much. Actually, Marvel Legends, Hasbro, little 6-inch X figures that I review here time to time, where they're actually rounding out our uh 90s X-Men lineup of figures, and I'm very, very excited. I know that's a little, I took a little fork in the road divot, but this reminded me of that. I'm very, very excited to have all my 90s X-Men action figure form. Anyway, I'm very excited for this, but it looks like, Devastation's happening. What's happening? I don't know. We're gonna find out, hopefully, though. So that's one thing they have coming up for 2019, February of 2019. It looks pretty cool. I am a big fan of the X-Men, who Stan Lee obviously said it a number of times. Another one of his creations or co-creations. So we got that coming up in 2019. I believe there is something else. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Bop, bop, bop. Let me look. Stay with me, guys. Oh, I could show you some of the covers for some of the other titles um I talked about earlier. So we have, here's the Amazing Nightcrawler that I'm gonna show you guys. Let me screen share this. Come on. I already have the image, it's just taking a while. All right. So that is the cover for the Age of X-Men. That is the Amazing Nightcrawler. They're all mini series, so they're all going to be like 5 to 6 issue mini series. But it's pretty cool, nonetheless. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. So that is that. Let's see. I think there's more stuff too. I'm kind of learning a little bit with you guys. Let's see. Here's one. This one's kind of interesting. It's the Age of X-Men Apocalypse and the X Tracks. It looks very psychedelic. You will see why I'm using the word psychedelic here in a second because and boom, because it looks psychedelic, looks straight out of the freaking 70s. So right on. um yeah, that is that. So, in a nutshell, we are getting tons of new X Men material in the comic books next year. If you're a huge X Men fan, 2019 is going to be your year. Now, my thinking for this is this is no coincidence because you guys know for the last up until 2018, I believe, Marvel was pushing. They were pushing the Inhumans in comic books and TV, which failed drastically. They were pushing them hardcore because they didn't want to play with the X Men because Fox had the X Men and all that stuff, and everything comes back to movies because movies are what makes literally the hundreds of millions, sometimes billions of dollars. So they were doing that. They were kind of not, they were trying to make the Inhumans a new X Men for whatever reasoning, right? But now the Disney slash Marvel has acquired Fox, which has the movie rights to X Men. We're getting a lot of like a big I mean, we have tons of X-Men comic books. Don't get me wrong. We have tons of X-Men books right now, like blue, red, gold, black. Like it's insane. Like it's like every color of the rainbow. It's like Expo, X-Men pink, X-Men purple, X-Men turquoise, X-Men mauve, like all that stuff. So many different colored X-Men books right now. But it seems like we're staying on that track, but even more so in 2019. And I think that's because 2019, Marvel Studios is going to announce that we're going to be getting some X-Men movies. God, I hope so. I mean, they have the rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men and all those characters within that world now. Galactus, Silver Surfer, Doctor Doom. Yes, please. So I'm thinking that is not a coincidence. They're coinciding that with some big announcement or plans they have for X-Men next year in the movie verse. Because if you guys know, since the superhero movie is such a big thing now, both DC, Marvel, and even Dark Horse or any other publisher that has a movie out there of their characters, whatever they're doing in the movies, they kind of try to fall a little bit in line with the comic books. As you guys know, Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, got it right back there. She had, Margot Robbie, she had the blue hair and the pink hair. Then what in the comic books, now she currently has the blonde hair with the blue and the pink. So they kind of play off each other, so it looks somewhat familiar. When you're jumping back and forth, I guess. So that's from you're just familiar, I guess, for people to, if you're watching the movies and then you're reading comics, you're like, oh, this Harley Quinn still looks the same. Actually, it's kind of grown on me now because, like, in the comics, now she's got she still has the red and black going on. It's more, it's more of a different outfit. She's got kind of have like the board shorts and then, you know, whatever, like what do you call that? The girdle thing. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. Like corset, yeah, like a corset. There you go, boom, corset. It's like black and red with like a jacket, and then it's like a hybrid between like classic Harley Quinn and then the Suicide Squad Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. Anyway, with that said, let's move on to more stuff. I'm getting stuck. I got stuck in a little X-Men tangent here. More photos. So let's go to the let's stay with Marvel. Stay with Marvel. I'm sorry, I got one more Marvel thing to talk about. Big thing that came out today is the Deadpool Once Upon a Christmas. Is that what it is? Once Upon a Time? Once Upon a Deadpool. Once Upon a Deadpool. That's what it is. We got the trailer today. It's 1 minute long, has stars Fred Savage. If you haven't seen the trailer, it's only a minute long. It's a teaser trailer, I guess. You have to watch this trailer. It is absolutely hilarious. So basically what this is, if you guys are wondering, so they are re-releasing Deadpool into theaters December 12th, but as a PG-13 movie. So Ryan Reynolds and several other, members of the cast and whatnot, just the movie, the cast of Deadpool. So it went back and did a bunch of reshoots to add new scenes to Deadpool, the second Deadpool movie, and give it a PG-13 movie, as well as give us new footage. And the Once Upon a Deadpool trailer teases that. It opens up with what is it? Fred Savage, who, if you guys don't know, is Ben Savage's older brother from Ben Savage being Boy Meets World. But Fred Savage is, I guess, most famously known for Wonder Years, but also um a Princess Bride. It was escaping me for a Princess Bride, one of the best movies ever. You guys love that movie. I know as a kid, as an adult, heck, freaking love that movie, Princess Bride. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Anyway, they're recreating the Princess Bride scene where his grandfather is reading him bedtime story, and that's where the Princess Bride is a book that that's being read to him by his grandfather. Anyway, they recreate the whole scene. It's freaking hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I don't me quoting it back to you, me quoting back this guy Ryan Reynolds Deadpool right here isn't gonna do anything justice. You need to go watch it. Once Upon a Deadpool on YouTube. Google it after this, or I don't know if you're watching. If you, nowadays people have lots of smart devices, so maybe you can watch it while listening to me rant. If you want to do that, you could do that. Just please don't turn me off. Don't do that. I mean, you can. It's free country, but that's not nice. But anyway, it looks freaking awesome. Okay, now let's get into the DC world. Also, actually, before I get it, before I know I said let's move on, but I want to see it so bad because it's it's funny because I know it's probably not. I mean, they did. I heard they went did like a month or 2 weeks of reshoots. There's gonna be a lot of new scenes, but it's pretty much gonna be the same movie. But this teaser was so awesome. I need to see it again. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm moving on. December 12th. I think it's only gonna be in theaters for a month. So go see it. It's PG-13 now. So if you're one of the you're younger and your parents weren't going to let you see it because it was R. Now it's PG-13. You'd be like, now you can let me see it because now it's PG-13. So there's that. But let's move on to DC. First thing up for DC, we got a new picture of Batwoman for the DC Elseworlds crossover, the CW crossover that's happening next month, December. Take a swig of water. Yeah, and she looks awesome. We've gotten I think several pictures of her before, but here's a new one, and I just want to show you guys because I'm a fan of her costume. I hope her character in the show lives up to how cool her costume looks. Here's hoping, but there you go, boom. She's got her grappling her grappling gun and everything. Super cool. She's even got like the I think the logo on there. That kind of looks like a Batman Beyond logo on there from far. I don't know. It looks dope. It looks really cool. It looks ripped right out of the comic books. I'm a fan of the look. Does that mean she is going to be good in the show or, in the crossover and potentially her solo series on CW? No, it doesn't mean that, but she'll look cool. She'll look cool. So there's that. I know that doesn't mean much in the grand scope of things because the show has, I would rather a better story and show than her costume looking cool. But maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I mean, I personally don't have high hopes. Again, I'm not the biggest Batwoman fan, to be honest with you guys. I'm more, if we're gonna go that route, I love Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. I said that like a bajillion times. I think that would have made way more sense to do a Batgirl show, especially since you have Supergirl to do Batgirl would have made all the sense in the world. And then imagine like the tag team, they can go up because in the comics and especially in the DC cartoons, they're like besties. So that would have been awesome to see Barbara and Kara like teaming up and fighting evil and super villains and stuff. I think that would have been the way to go. And then I would have been super jacked. But you know, me being a big Batman fan I still like Batwoman. She's just not like a favorite character of any means, but she's cool. She was good in the DC Rebirth Detective Comics run. She was good in that, with Clayface and Red Robin and Batman and all that stuff. Spoiler. But yeah, so that's that. Costume looks awesome. Here's hoping she's good in the CW Elseworlds crossover and her solo show, which I don't remember if that's greenlit or not. I don't know if that's greenlit. I think it's like pending on like how well she's received, I guess, in this crossover. So I guess this is going to be very telling of the future of this character. So, but here's hoping it's good because again, even though I'm not, I can't spit out like Batwoman facts all day long. I'm all for just good comic book content on any medium. So with that said, the next bit I thought is really cool that I'm going to talk about. So Detective Comics, you guys read Detective Comics? We just talked about it because for DC's Detective Comics Rebirth run, Batwoman was a huge part of the team, along with Clayface, Red Robin, Spoiler, and all that good stuff. Anyway, Detective Comics 1000 is coming up. It's just around the corner. As you guys know, that is massive. The only other ongoing comic book to hit 1000 issues is Action Comics, which did so, I believe, earlier this year. That's insane. But Batman was created like a year after Superman. So, of course, that means Detective Comics was soon to follow. And we are almost there. With that said, for Detective Comics 1000, DC Comics continuity is introducing, ready? Wait for it, the Arkham Knight. Boom. Right? Right? The Arkham Knight from the Arkham Knight video game by Rocksteady, as in Jason Todd, Arkham Knight. Spoiler alert, that's not a spoiler. That game's been out for like 2 years, so don't even say that's a spoiler. Everyone knows it's Jason Todd. Yes, Detective Comics is making or is introducing the Arkham Knight into DC continuity with issue 1000. Now, with that said, is it going to be the same Arkham Knight from the video game? I don't know. I know they're doing a lot of new stuff with Jason Todd right now as he's the all new Red Hood right now in the comics. He's got a new outfit. He's more way more violent. He's got like a crowbar in his back. I've talked about it before. Basically looks like a kind of like a Mortal Kombat characters. He's got the like the ninja mask and like the hoodie and stuff like that. It's like Ermac from Mortal Kombat. Anyway, yeah, they're introducing him. So I don't know if they're going the Jason Todd Arkham Knight route or if it's gonna be a different person being, the Arkham Knight. I mean, they very well could because they're changing him up. Maybe that's why they're changing Red Hood to set him up to be the Arkham Knight, like he disappears or he's doing like a double identity thing. I have no idea. I mean, because they don't might not necessarily do it exactly like they did in the video game. I mean, 100% guarantee they're not going to do it exactly. So they might make it, a secret identity, a completely different person. I'm just excited to see where they go from it with it, and it's just really cool to see, another character from like a TV show or a movie or now a video game make its way into DC proper continuity because once it's in the comic books it's continuity. That's the comic books will always be the core of all these movies, TV shows, and everything. It is the source material. So now that he's being introduced into DC Comics continuity, that's crazy. The sky's the limits now. So I'm just really crazy excited to see where he goes from here. Very, very excited for that. Again, we don't know too much about it. They just announced it. But yes, I'm in. Let's do this. I'm very excited to see where they go with it. I don't know if I think I'd want it to be someone else because we already got that version, in the video game. I feel like they'd be like, yeah, it's obviously Jason Todd. So I feel like they almost kind of have to make it someone else, which I think they're gonna do. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. All right. And I think this is the last thing. There might be another thing I'm going to talk about. I'll say one of the last thing. One of the last thing I'm going to talk about before I do a Q&A with you guys, real quick, is this past Friday's episode of Titans. Okay, guys. So I reviewed the first episode. I said in that I didn't really like the first episode that much. I didn't like the tone that where it was going, but I did say in the episode that I'll have to see. Judging it on one episode isn't necessarily fair, but I did want to give my thoughts on the pilot because it's the pilot, and it was people were asking me to do it, and I thought it would be cool to just review the pilot. But I did say in that I said that I have to see how the show goes. Now, the tone is kind of stuck for, because remember what my biggest gripes with the show was that it was like this is nothing like the Titans, like because it's still not. It's not like the Titans we know from the comic books. But at first, it was just I was like, are they gonna just completely like disregard everything about these characters? And as I've watched, we're on episode 6, I think now is this past this last Friday's episode, which is titled Jason Todd, of episode 6. Um, it's I'm liking it. I'm digging it. Is it perfect? No, not by any means. Is it the Titan show that I like if I was like one of the creators or, people involved in it would have made or wanted? No, not necessarily. I would have wanted probably something still I don't need it to be exactly like the comic books. I'm not the guy. I think some people think like, it's just because it's not in the comic books doesn't mean it's not good. I'm not the guy that needs it to be just like the comic books. Some of my favorite superhero movies and shows and cartoons are not just like the comic books. I just need it to be something, that I think is still true to the core values of the characters from the comic books. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it has to be, for me personally, it has to be like you have to capture that essence of the character you are now putting on the screen or game or whatever. And for me with the first episode or I was like, that's not Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is not this freaking like guy who's like, I've just been beating up people too much and I was getting too violent and stuff like that. Like Dick Grayson is like the guy, he's the optimistic one to Batman's gloom and doom, whatever. Dick Grayson is very optimistic. Talked about it before on the show. Like he's kind of like the hope. That's why they've said in the comics that or they've hinted to it that he's even like he'd be a better Batman than Bruce. You know what I mean? Just because he's not just driven purely by his parents' death. He kind of got over that and now is just a hero because he's just a good person. He just wants to help people, but he's let go of like that revenge and hatred. He's just now wants, to do right by people, to do good, you know what I mean? So, with that said, it was just like they were kind of playing Jason. I mean, they were kind of playing Dick Grayson, I thought, in the first episode, much like Jason, kind of like Jason Todd, which is really weird. Like they swapped. It's like, no, Jason Todd is kind of like the gloom and doom one where he's really violent, doing stuff left and right. But as the show went on, I mean, he's still kind of like that, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be in the first episode. I'm feeling it. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying the episode. Doom Patrol on there was awesome. That Doom Patrol episode is one of my favorite episodes still. In this last episode, Jason Todd, awesome. I think that's that the Doom Patrol episode and this one are my two favorite ones thus far. And I will say, like again, I still don't think the show nailed Dick Grayson. I like him in the show because I like him in the show. I'm accepting that it's different. I'm looking at it like it's the show as if it's an Elseworlds kind of tale again because like I said before, I don't need things to be exactly like comics. That's not gonna happen. They're not always gonna exactly translate. When they could do it and they do it, it's awesome and it's all the better for it. But if they don't, they're doing their want to make it darker or lighter or whatever they want to do, different, make it different from the comics for whatever reason. That's fine. And it's working. It's good as a story in the show, and I'm enjoying it. But like it's not the Dick Grayson from the comics. He's cool and I like him in the show, but as a comic fan, and that's always where I'm gonna come from first. That is what I do. Variant comics, like the background. I am always gonna give the comic book perspective. I'm not gonna be giving the freaking like movie TV reviewer like, oh, but the blah 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 blah. I mean, to a certain degree, I will because that's just like common sense type stuff. But the core value is like, is it true? The comic books, is it fun as a comic book fan? Blah blah blah. As long as it's done, decently. And Dick Grayson is good in the show. I mean, he's not the Dick Grayson from the comic books, but that's fine. I mean, he doesn't have to be. It's kind of its own thing. It's just, is it a good show? Yes, it is entertaining. But I will say, with that said, even though I like Grayson in the show, even though I don't think he's very far off from how he is in the comics, um, that Jason Todd, they nailed him. They nailed Jason Todd. I thought I think Curran Walters, I think is the guy who plays him. Anyway, awesome. Like so where they deviated and changed Dick Grayson a little bit, they nailed pretty much Jason Todd spot on. Like they almost didn't deviate at all. He is so good. Oh, I love the dynamic with both of them. Like, hey, bro, I'm the new Robin. Like just his whole demeanor, and he was like violent, and he just loved being Robin, but like he loved it for like all the wrong reasons, which is great because that is totally like Jason Todd. It was just so good, and that's this how I'm talking about why I was kind of disappointed with the first episode, and several of the characters like Starfire, Raven, Dick Grayson, and stuff like that. Because when they nail it, it's so good, and it makes you. I'm like, yeah. But I know so a lot of people don't care about the stuff like I do. But like, it would have just been so cool. I'd be like, yeah, that's the Dick Grayson I've been reading my whole life, and now they put it on the screen. That's awesome. So that kind of stuff bums me out when it's not. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just like it takes a while for me to adjust, and now I like it. But anyway, back to Jason Todd. So good, man. He was great in the episode. Like, so it's the spoiler if you haven't seen the episode. Spoiler. Towards the end, like he he's just he just loves being Robin for, like I said, all the wrong reasons. He just like loves the fame in it. He loves the gadgets. He loves the costume. He likes driving the Batmobile. He just loves being Robin. And like Dick's like, dude, no, he's using you. He's like, you think Batman would like needs you? He doesn't need you. It's like in the end, it's just all for him. It's like for his gain, not your gain. Like he wouldn't have you if it didn't benefit him somehow. He's like, well, yeah. He's like, Jason Todd. He's like, yeah, well, Batman needs a Robin. I mean, why do you think we have these bright, colorful costumes? Because we come in, we're like, hey guys, distract them as the criminals are looking at us, and the Batman swoops in and he used some foul language and blah 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 blah. I don't want these kids watching, so I'm trying to keep this family friendly. um but yeah, super just awesome. And then at the end of the episode, like he's just ripping cops a new one. Like these cops come, he's like, I got it, I got it, tearing them to shreds left and right. And Dick Grayson comes, he's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, Batman didn't teach you to beat up cops. You don't beat up cops. That's one of the rules. He's like, yeah, so what? He goes, they beat me up all the time in Gotham. I'm just getting back at them. He goes, he's like, Batman won't know about it because I think they're currently in Chicago. And it's just like that is so like, yes, that is it. Like he just likes to fight. He's hot-headed. He doesn't listen. He has a short fuse. Like that is what got him into trouble in the Death of the Family story arc, which I'm gonna be touching on in the Red Hood episode. this Wednesday. But yeah, that is 100% Jason Todd. I was all in for it. I loved it. And just the episode in general felt very comic booky. I loved it. Like the dialogue, the melting man, the villain, the exchange back and forth, the fighting sequences. It was like I was watching a comic book. It was just great. And the show is entertaining me. I'm digging it again. Like I know I was kind of harsh on the pilot and stuff like that. And I still have my gripes with it, like here and there. I wish, I enjoyed Dick Grayson, but I wish it was a little closer to how I've read him all these years. Same thing with Stormfire. But again, things aren't always going to be exactly how they are in the books. As long as it's entertaining, and it is, I'm enjoying it. So, with that said, let's open this up to questions real quick. And so you guys have any questions to ask me? I will answer some questions for a few minutes, and then I'll get out of here. And you'll see me on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, when I give you guys the history of the Red Hood / Jason Todd. All right. So Little Shizzy says, "Do you think Hawk and Dove will be back in Titans?" First of all, they were awesome in the show. They were very different again from the comic books, but it was cool. Do I wish they kind of had that the powers they did from the comics? Yes. But they were good. I know that's not your question. Do you think they will be back? I think they'll appear once or twice. I think like it seems like all these things are like one offs. So it seems like the Doom Patrol is a one off. I don't think we're gonna see them again this season. I hope we see Jason Todd again this season. I really, really do. He's so far my favorite character on the series. Um, but I don't think we will. And I think, and then Hawk and Dove before that, we've only seen them then. So I feel like a lot of these characters, they're like Jason Todd, Doom Patrol, Hawk and Dove, they're kind of like one off. Like they just given an episode and then that's it. Hopefully that comes full circle and we see them all together at the end. Hopefully, one could hope. But yeah, so I don't have a direct answer on that. I just hope they will come back. Let's see. Avery McKinnon. Who are your top 3 favorite mutants? Let's see here. Wolverine. No, that's cliche, but love me some Wolverine. Juggernaut's not a mutant. Ah, dang it. So let's see. Nightcrawler would be number 2. And number 3, I'm gonna go Professor X. Professor X. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Ali Jamal Ludden. What is your favorite Stan Lee cameo? Oh man, there's so many. The FedEx one is really, really great in Civil War. But I guess the newest one, the when he was the Watcher, and was that Guardians of the Galaxy? That was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and he was up there with the Watchers in the spacesuit. I thought that was great because he was telling them like there was a time there was a FedEx guy. And there was a time because it was kind of alluding to like, are they making Stan the one above all? Like, is he God? And he's talking about all the times he's appeared at this, and he's there with the Watchers. Like, so for that alone, I'm like, we're gonna see because he did film 3 more cameos before he passed. So we're gonna see what the end game is with this. So hopefully, but yeah. Let's see. Lord Magnus God. Hey Harris, what Bane con you referencing when I called the Bane from the Gotham TV show that a few weeks ago? Dude, that's just so bad. That is one of the worst costumes I've seen for a superhero show in a very long time. I don't even care. This is bad. um let's see. Ricky Gillette, Aquaman movie thoughts. Dude, it looks so much, I've said it before, it looks so much fun. I wasn't on board with the first trailer. I was like, nah, because I remember when the first one came out, like at San Diego Comic-Con, when they did the Shazam and Aquaman trailer same day. Shazam trailer I absolutely loved, and then the first Aquaman trailer I was like, it's all right. But every trailer after that, bro, it looks so good. I'm on. It just looks like fun, and that's what I want. That's what comic books should be. That's what superheroes should be. It's what these stories are for fun. Sure, they have serious messages and stuff across, but it's just a spectacle while entertaining you. I'm in. Black Manta looks incredible. Mara looks great. Freaking Jason Momoa's Aquaman suit looks so good. Ripped right out of the comic books. And you guys know how much I love that stuff. Yes, I'm in. I'm in. That's what I think. All in, brother. We're gonna be doing some Aquaman themed episodes coming up in December, and obviously we'll be reviewing the movie. We're gonna be doing an Origin of Black Manta episode, a History of Ocean Master episode. I think like an alternate versions of Aquaman episode, all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned for that as we close this year out with December quickly approaching as Thanksgiving is this Thursday. Where's the year going? All right. Boom, 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 boom. What do you? Zach M says, "What do you think of the new Pokemon movie?" I was supposed to talk about that in here. Actually, I forgot. I didn't write it down. My bad. That movie looks awesome. Detective Pikachu looks hilarious. Who's also voiced by Deadpool himself, aka Ryan Reynolds. Awesome. Awesome. I was a massive Pokemon fan as a kid. I had the entire first series of Pokemon cards, the entire first set. Remember one day, fun fact, tangent a little bit right here. My dad took me to a comic book store, and comic book stores also sell like trading cards and stuff like that. And I got a while I was there, I wasn't there for comics that time. Shocking. I didn't go there to pick up a comic. I went there for Pokemon cards, the booster packs. And at the time, like a Charizard was like $120 card. Like if you because you could buy the card singly at the card shops and comic shops if you want to. But if you got a booster pack, it was at random. You that's where you get these cards. You just had to be lucky enough to get an expensive card in the pack. And my dad bought me like two packs. They're like probably like $5 a time or whatever, $3. I don't know. Bought me two packs, get in the car, open it. First one, nothing. I was like, I think I got like some cool stuff in there, but it was like the normal like cards in there, like Squirtles and like Charmanders and Pikachu's and stuff like that. But the other one, I opened it up, second card, and I remember this clear as day. I was like 6, 7 years old or something like that. I don't know. And the card opened it up, freaking Charizard foil card, $120 card. As a kid, I'm not even gonna lie, I started crying out of pure joy. I was just like, "I got it," because like, as a kid, because I knew I was never gonna get that card, and I'm like, "I have a card that's worth $120. I have a Charizard, that's freaking awesome," and I got it for like $3. I started crying, I was so happy, my dad's like, "That's awesome, buddy, blah, blah, that's great," and I was very excited. Anyway, the movie looks awesome. I'm very, very excited for it. I say all that because I was a big fan of Pokemon growing up. I love the cartoon and I love the trading cards. I don't do trading cards anymore. If any of you are wondering, I'm don't don't have enough time, I guess, for that. Just other things anyway. But the movie looks great. I'm very, very excited for it. And Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds looks awesome. I hope that we get some Pikachu references in the Once Upon a Deadpool PG-13 movie that I talked about earlier. Yes, yes, please. I'm very, very, very excited for that. Looks good. There's hoping it's as good as the trailer because the trailer is great. Bum, 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 bum. Emmanuel. I can't pronounce your last name, so I'm not gonna butcher it. So Emmanuel, you'll know who you are when I read your question. What was your opinion on Red Goblin? In my opinion on Red Goblin, my first, oddly enough, out of anything, is how he looked. I think he looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm not a fan of how the Red Goblin looked or looks. It's just weird to me. I'm like, why? That's the design you went with? Okay. Funny enough, that's my thoughts on uh Red Goblin. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna stop at that because that is honestly where I go when anyone brings him up, like you just said. I was just like, yeah, but he looks so weird. Like, why? How did that really? Okay. All right. There we are. All right, let's see. Random 8-bit guy. What's your thoughts on the X-Men and Blade movies? They are awesome. I'm a big fan of the Blade movies. First one's great. Second two got a little cheesy and weird, but they're still fun, and I love them for that. They are fun movies, and they're great. Ryan Reynolds is in the third one, with Justin Timberlake's Boo, Jessica Biel. They're great fun movies, especially the first one and the X Men, of course. Not all the X Men. I love the first X Men, of course. Then X2 United, probably still the best X Men movie to date. X3 was all right. It's okay. Then what do we got? Days of Future Past was good. A First Class was good. What was the with the X Men Apocalypse? I wasn't a big fan. I was like, eh. Um, then what else we got? X Men Origins Wolverine movie. No, not good. What else? I probably missed. There's so many X-Men movies. Oh, Logan obviously was fantastic. Logan was great. I'm probably missing one or two. And then we got the new one, Dark Phoenix, coming out, which hopefully is good. It looks good. The trailer looks awesome. So yeah, that's my thought. Overall, they're awesome. There's a few stinkers in there, but overall, they're great. Sorry, 209. Do you watch Preacher? No, unfortunately, I do not. I'm sorry. I say it all the time. Like, it's not that I don't want to watch Preacher. It's just there's so much stuff coming out. I'm still trying to get through Daredevil season 3. There's just so much stuff to watch because again, besides like just like comic book shows, I watch like quote unquote normal people shows. Like I'm trying to get started on the Americans. House of Cards just came back on Netflix. So many shows. And I watched like Superstore with my wife. Watch a lot of like comedies. Shameless, obviously. I don't know, lots of stuff. All the anime I watch, there's just lots of stuff to watch, and that's just the stuff to watch. That's not all the comic books and stuff that I have to read and stuff like that. I'm actually behind. I think I have probably half a stack like this. I legitimately probably have to read like 40 like comics to be current with all the different titles I'm reading right now. Like I'm behind on Justice League, I'm behind on The Flash, I'm behind on Spider-Man, I'm behind on Spider-Geddon, I'm behind on Batman. I just once you hit the holiday season, things are just crazy, so I need to get up to date. And then what's funny is like when I do episodes like the history of Red Hood and stuff like that, like you would think like that would keep you up to date, but like a lot of the stuff isn't necessarily current. Like only like a little portion of that episode is current, right? But most of since the history, most of it is like stuff that's happened in the past. So like I'm rereading like old stuff and re-looking up old stuff, not necessarily current stuff. So point is, I need to sit down on a Sunday with a delicious beverage in one hand, a stack of comic books, or as I read them, my iPad where all my comic books because it's just easier that way. And yeah, and read some comic books. I need to have that. That needs to happen soon. That needs to happen for me. I haven't actually I've said it before, like I love print comic books, but recently I haven't been buying so many print comic books because just time and stuff like that. So it's just more convenient, it's like, oh, I'm in bed. I'm just gonna read a comic book, boom, right on my phone. Even though I still love print more than digital. It's just tangible. It's just but convenience sake, digital man. Digital is way more convenient. All right, let's see. Black Phoenix though, so not way behind in the reading too. It's actually kind of a plus though, because you don't have to wait to see what happens next. So when like I fall like 3, 4 issues behind like a title, it's like, oh, well, at least I don't have to wait to see what happens. Like that, sometimes it even lines up to where like, I get to just read the entirety of that particular like story arc in the title right then, because I don't have to go month to month or whatever to see see what's gonna happen. There was a question in here that I want to answer. Asri Stell, who is your favorite comedian? My favorite comedian, Dane Cook all time, just because, dude, when I was a teenager in early 20s, Dane Cook was the man. But also Kevin Hart is freaking hilarious. I love Kevin Hart. Sebastian Maniscalco is hilarious. Tom Segura is really funny. I'm just listing a bunch now. Bill Burr is freaking hilarious. Oh, I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr's so funny. There's a bunch. But I guess favorite all time, Dane Cook, I guess. I still quote a lot of a lot of the stuff. Fun fact, I got to sit next to Cook during the Civil War premiere. No joke. I've told this story before. So again, not only did I meet Stan Lee that day, when I get in and go to my seat, when you go to for those who don't know, when you go to premieres, they give you free popcorn, free drink, right? So you go to the bathroom and then they have like free beverages and popcorn up front. So go to the bathroom, and you have assigned seats, obviously. I go to the bathroom, get my drink, get my popcorn, go to like my little place, and I was actually there with Scott from NerdSync, and I was sitting next to him, and I passed him, excuse me. I go to sit down. I'm like, hey Scott, what's up? I'm trying to put my popcorn, my soda down. He's like, dude, look who you're sitting next to, because I didn't notice, because I was it's awkward when you're like trying to scoot through in a movie theater. You're not looking at the person. You're just like, "Ugh, I hope my butt's, I don't put my butt in their face, So I just sat down and I look. I literally pull one of these, like I'm talking to Scott, and he's like, look who you're sitting next to. I'm like, "Look who you're sitting next to." I go, that's Dan Cook. That's Dan Cook. And I was sitting right, he was sitting right to my right, Dane Cook. So I was like, I can't sit next to Dane Cook for 2.5 hours and not say something to him. So I was like, okay, Dane, I'm a really big fan. I love you. You were like one of my favorite comedians. You are absolutely hilarious. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, I hope this movie's gonna be good. I'm like, yeah, it probably is. And then we just chatted for like, I don't know, like a minute. But point is, I sat next to Dane Cook while watching Civil War. I was at the premiere of the Civil War, so I sat next to him for 2.5 hours. Freaking hilarious. And if you guys listen to Dane Cook at all, he has that joke where like he's like, how awkward is it to like go to theaters where it's dark and you can't find like the cup holder thing? And he was sitting right next to me, and I was thinking about that the whole time. Yeah. Anyway. Let's see. I'm gonna answer 2 more questions and then I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta get home to my wife and kids. Or I said kids, kid. I made it plural. I have one kid, one daughter, a 16-month-old. All right, let's see. Dun dun dun. Reggie Simmons, Stanley, and Dane Cook in one day. That's what we call winning. Yes. Yes, it was. It was definitely winning. But I didn't have my phone on me. I was going to be like, can I get a picture or something? I didn't have my phone on me because when you're at premieres, they take your phone and they give you a ticket and then you get your phone after because they don't want you like taking footage or spoiling anything. So I couldn't even like take a picture or anything, but yeah, there's that. All right, let's see. Dun dun dun. Random 8-bit guy again. He says, "Do you think Blade is underrated?" I don't think he's. I mean, maybe a little bit, I guess, but I think a lot of people like him. I mean, he's not talked about. I mean, in the sense he's not talked about nearly enough. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people love him, especially because of the movies. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's halvesies. Bum 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 bum. Jennifer Reed, love this channel. Well, thank you, Jennifer. I am glad that you are entertained. That's what I'm here for. That is my job. If I'm entertaining you, then it is working. All right. All right. Still have two more questions. I don't count those other everything I just talked about. I'm not going to count that. QC, those channel rocks. Oh, thus channel rocks. Thank you, sir. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, Chad 90 MF Comics. It's a good question. He asks, Holy Grail comic book. Man, I mean, Holy Grail. So I can have any comic book in the world. You know, I think I'm gonna go. I mean, it may feel a little obvious. I think. But if I could have any comic book in the world, it would be Detective Comics 27, the first appearance of the Dark Knight himself, Batman. Yes. I think that one. I know Action Comics 1 is worth, more. First appearance of Superman, first superhero. But I'm gonna go Detective Comics. I'm gonna go Detective Comics 27. First appearance Batman. He's my favorite fictional character ever. All the way. All the way. Detective Comics 27. Yes. Yes, and please. It's probably in a good condition. It's over $1 million, but you said Holy Grail. That's what it would be. All right, that was a good question. Last question. I'm gonna do last question. Oh, sorry guys. I tried to politely burp. It didn't work out. I apologize. Maybe I should pull away from the mic like that. I should probably pull away from the mic when I do that. But yeah, maybe. All right, one more question before I wrap this up. Dun, 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 dun. Mm-mm-mm. Donis Donis K. Don't Tell. Kevin Bacon or Matthew McConaughey as Reverse Flash. That is easy. Matthew McConaughey all damn day long. Yes, and please. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. All right. I know I said one more question, but I'm just gonna do three more, and then that's gonna be it. Oh, that three more? One more to make it at three, because three just is a better number. Thomas Sanders, date any superhero. That's actually a good question. Date any superhero. Oh man, I gotta think about this logically. Because I know most people be like, well, just pick the one you're most attracted to. No, because just because you're attracted to them doesn't mean it's gonna work out. Like, who would I be most compatible with? Superhero. So I guess like Mary Jane and stuff like that doesn't count because they're technically not superheroes. So it's like Wonder Woman, Batgirl. Hmm. Hmm. Wow, that's actually a tougher question than I thought. Not Supergirl. Not Supergirl. Um, because if she ever got pissed at me, she could. I mean, I guess any superhero could literally own me. So I guess that's irrelevant. But just not Supergirl. Hmm. Superhero. So Harley Quinn doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't want to date Harley Quinn anyway. I mean, I love Harley Quinn as much as the next guy, but freaking dating her, no, 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 no. That probably wouldn't be the best. um, let's see. Superhero. I think I'm gonna go Batgirl. I was thinking I was going between Batgirl and Wonder Woman. Hmm. I think Barbara Gordon. Yeah, I think Barbara Gordon because I think Barbara Gordon. She's extremely smart. She's pretty. She's a normal human. So, I wouldn't, it could get weird at times, dealing with like, having your wife being able to lift a car over her head. So yeah, I'm gonna go Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. Yes, she's one of my favorite female heroes anyway. And maybe I'd get to meet Batman. I'd be friends with Batman, Dick Grayson, and all the rest of the Bat family. Yeah, she's really smart. She seems she was, well, she's a fictional character, but she seems funny. And she's Batgirl. So yeah, I'd get to go toward the Batcave and stuff like that, and she could protect me. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Like it'd be flipped. I'd be like, "Yeah, what up? Yeah, my girlfriend's gonna whoop you if you say anything to me." You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that's my that's like my final thoughts on that Batgirl. With that said, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because I think I've been ranting for like an hour here. Hopefully, you guys don't mind. But yeah, so, just to give you guys heads up of what this week is gonna go. So, History of Red Hood is gonna be on Wednesday, and then on Saturday, we're gonna start preparing you guys for Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, with giving you guys an origin of Spider-Ham. It's a really fun episode. If you guys don't know anything about Spider-Ham, you're in for a treat. It's gonna be weird. Spider-Ham is freaking weird, but he's awesome. You'll see what I mean this Saturday. So you guys are gonna get an origin of Spider-Ham, and then a history of Red Hood slash Jason Todd this Saturday and Wednesday. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. With that said, guys, I will see you then when I talk about all things comics. Later, guys.